the third part, which is what about when we actually have to put that proposal and that bid together? Or the way I like to call it, the proposal hunt through previous ones and cut and paste game. And if you've ever played this game, you know what it looks like, is there are all of these proposals that have happened before. And they're in Word docs, in hard drives, or on network shares, or in all these different places. And I've got to start to, find those because I go, wow, this sounds just like the proposal we did for so-and-so. I wonder how much of that I can steal to put this next proposal together. So we start digging through all of these proposals, and we start looking through everything to do it, which is just chewing up a large amount of time. Then I've got to figure out, okay, are there other types of projects, or what projects do I need to use to reference? Because again, let's say we're bidding on retrofitting a children's hospital. Well, I need to go back and say, hey, we did work for other hospitals, right? What hospitals were they? And, can we drop the name and all this stuff? And what do? I go pester my project managers. And I'm emailing them, and I'm calling them, and I'm texting them, and I'm asking them all these questions, and they constantly come back going, didn't you ask me this exact same question last month? Didn't I answer that for you already? Or, hey, as you're going to be the project manager on this hospital, if we win it, I need your resume. Didn't I send you my resume last week? Yeah, but it's locked away somewhere. You know how many resumes I've got stored on my hard drive, and I can't find all of these things. So in a sense, we think of a proposal like a jigsaw puzzle. And I've got all of these different pieces that I've got to start to pull to put the proposal together. Now, really, when I'm putting the proposal together, what I want to spend the most amount of my time doing is making sure that the proposal is polished, professional, and it just looks good, because there's going to be other proposals that the client is going to see, and how does my proposal stand up? Not just the cost, but just the way that we present ourselves as the firm. If I'm spending all of my time hunting documents, emailing people, and trying to find all this stuff, and cutting and pasting things, I'm not actually spending any time making sure that it is polished, it's professional, and it really gives a good image of the firm. So it just comes down to the amount of time that is spent. So a lot of times what I want to do is figure out how to get a good proposal library, there are proposal type tools like templating tools. So think of it as mail merge on steroids. So I would say, okay, we're bidding for a hospital job. So I have a boilerplate, because we bid on hospital jobs all the time. So I have a boilerplate piece that talks about why we're the best group to do hospital work and all of our experience in the medical field, et cetera, and I have that boilerplate. I have another boilerplate for oil and gas about all of our experience in oil and gas, or our experience in green. And then I have project managers, and I have every project manager's resume. But I might have multiple project managers' resume, because if I'm pitching Andrew as the project manager and we're doing hospital work, I want to talk about Andrew's experience in hospitals. But if we're pitching work for the oil and gas industry, I want Andrew's resume to look more oil and gas-ish. That's probably not really a word, but you get what I'm saying. So instead of having to write this stuff all the time, I start building these little pieces. Again, think of our jigsaw puzzle. They're little pieces of the puzzle that I start to template. Same thing with the projects. Every project we've ever worked on probably has a picture of the project and has a description of the project and the work. Again, is all of that templated in a system where I can go, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to use our hospital template. I want to choose these 3 projects that we did before. I need Andrew as the project manager, and I need Andrew's medical kind of resume or CV description, pull those things together and glue them all together, and then I get a nice professional starting point where it's all brought together in a proposal template, which now I can start to spend my time reviewing it and looking at it. And as I said, again, instead of cutting and pasting. I used to spend way too many hours But I could spend anywhere from 5 to 6 hours just trying to find the information, and really all I was an email nagger. What I mean by is I would pester people via email. Can you send me this? Do we have this? And I'd find all this information, and sure enough, 6 months later, I'm asking everybody for the same information again. So I want to stop doing that and start working on actually creating the proposals and adding value to the business development process instead of just cut and pasting and emailing.